The Atlantic coast of Morocco, with its sand dunes, fragile wetlands, and rich farmland. And its highways, its shopping malls, and construction sites. The central Atlantic coast is home to 60% of the kingdom's factories and a third of its citizens. Among them, 3 of our observers in Darwaza, Mohammedia, and Kenitra. Nearly 500,000 Moroccans live in Kenitra, 12 kilometers from the coast. The city is expanding into the surrounding countryside. Our observer Ayoub is studying for a master's in urbanism and its problems.
So why did you contact us?
I got in touch to tell you about a big problem in the city of Kenitra. It's being overrun by cows, goats, sheep, stray dogs too. The rubbish piles up, and that attracts the animals. They scatter the rubbish everywhere and eat from the bins. It's creating lots of pollution, different forms of pollution.
Ayoub documents the problem so he can show the authorities.
Can you show me?
This is an example that I filmed from my phone. You can see the animals moving around the city, damaging the green spaces.
Is it a problem when the countryside is just next to the city?
What you can see here is farms. They're still operating with cows, sheep and other animals. They are resisting the urban expansion of the city. And their animals have gotten used to coming into the city to graze.
The city is on the edge of the forest of Marmora, one of the biggest forests of cork oak in the world. It's a popular spot for families at the weekend. Ayoub's group has come out to educate them, to tell them not to take the forest for granted.
Abdelghani, keep your team close to you. So this is what we do. We call it Oxygène Planète. It's an environmental initiative run by our association year-round. Kenitra has beautiful natural areas around it, but they've been suffering in recent years.
I've just spotted a family who've lit a fire. Let's go.
You've come here to enjoy the clean air. This place needs to stay clean and the children have to be able to enjoy it. But I noticed that you've lit a fire.
Yeah, you have to have a fire.
What if it ends up causing a fire? We won't know till we see smoke in the sky.
Only an idiot leaves a fire burning.
Okay. But when you finish, pour some water on it. And please, this is important, pick up your plastic bags.
Ayoub and his team will spend the rest of the day in the forest, talking to families and trying to sign them up to help them spread their message.
You spoke to him?
Yes, I gave him the brochure and I talked to him.
Of course he can join us. His kids, too.
Further down the coast, heading toward Casablanca, is the port of Mohammedia.
We're on the beach of La Siesta. We have the only dune still standing in the Casablanca area.
The dune, several meters high, used to stretch along the whole beach.
Construction was prohibited on this land for more than 30 years, but a few years ago they passed a development plan that made building possible. Then one day we woke up to find diggers and excavators removing the sand and flattening the dune. I filmed them for several hours, but it didn't do any good. The dune was gone in less than a day. Take a look at these before and after pictures. You can see where the vegetation has disappeared. The sites become all black. They removed the dune so the villas would have a clear view of the sea. Everyone in Morocco wants to have a house on the beach.
A 2015 law bans construction within 100 meters of the coast. Nadia's group managed to halt the project for a while. We managed to stop the project for more than 6 months, but the council didn't have any choice. The development plan was passed before the coastal protection law. That's one of the problems of the law. It's not retroactive. It took thousands of years for the dunes to form, and they can't reform naturally.
Once they're gone, right?
Once they're gone, every grain of sand lost is irrecoverable. We've lost this very peaceful spot, unfortunately.
On the other side of Casablanca is the town of Darwaza. Sofia Wazani is a member of a local citizens group.
Darwaza is a fishing village, which has gradually turned into a satellite town of Casablanca, 25 kilometers away. Most of the apartments and villas here sell for pretty high prices. There are properties on the market for more than 5 million dirhams.
Her group contacted the observers because they're worried the development has not been properly thought out.
We feel that development in Darwaza has been done project by project. It's uncontrolled. The town doesn't have the infrastructure for the incoming population. For example, sewage sometimes gets discharged directly into the ocean or the river. This affects the health of those using the beach, bathers, surfers, and fishermen. My parents used to have a little house up there, among the fishing shacks behind that big development. We used to come down every weekend.
Sofia takes us to a cistern that's supposed to be for rainwater.
There's sewage that comes out of here sometimes. We don't know where it comes from. When someone dumps sewage in the drain, it's impossible to stay in the water. The smell is disgusting.
Do they warn children about it?
No, there's no warning.
The only sign is the smell.
Yes, if it stinks, it's sewage.
Darwaza has grown rapidly since the 1990s, farms and fishermen's houses being replaced by luxury subdivisions. Sofia's group says there's been too little transparency, too little planning, and too little investment in the community.
There was an old quarry here when I was growing up.
What are they building now?
No idea. There's supposed to be a sign, but there's nothing posted anywhere.
But there's good news from the mayor's office. The head architect tells us the site is for a seafront walkway, which will be open to the public.
Bonjour.
The next day, Sofia takes us to meet a group of local birdwatchers.
Today we're going to show you the Daya in Darwaza. It's just 15 kilometers from Casablanca, which is really exceptional. It's the last remaining wetland in the Casablanca region.
Do you come here a lot?
I come whenever I can to get away.
Adaya is a reserve of fresh water that builds up inside coastal dunes, a wetland rich in plant and animal life. Reda's group has identified 190 different bird species in the Daya.
There's an egret over there. No, it's a pond heron, actually. There are also two beautiful glossy ibis and a few egrets. Don't forget, Morocco is a semi-arid country. Water with a stagnant surface like that is pretty rare here.
Rare and becoming rarer.
Over there are housing developments and a school, which were built on the old extension of the Daya, which stretched for another 5 kilometers, right up to the mouth of the river.
Yes, the Daya is part of the public water domain. It's state land, and the state can grant temporary occupation permits. Leases, if you like.
So that's temporary?
No, it's not temporary. No.